Hello, I'm Dr. Tara Palmatier of shrinkformen.com. Welcome to my channel and thank you for watching. If you have a question or would like to schedule a session with me, you can reach me at shrinkformen@gmail.com or shrinkformen@protonmail.com. And you can find both of those email addresses in the About section of this video. Today's video is Narcissists Will Never Be Normal. And it is adapted from an article I wrote and published on shrinkformen.com back in April of 2023. So let's just jump right in. Narcissists will never be normal. Neither will histrionics, borderlines, psychopaths, sociopaths. None of the cluster B antisocial disorders will ever be normal. So don't confuse their fleeting moments of what seems like normalcy with actual normal behavior. Because I repeat, they're not normal. Now, barring some miracle personality transplant, which doesn't exist, these individuals are unlikely to ever be normal. And by normal, I mean not personality disordered. Narcissists, borderlines, etc., have brains that are literally wired differently. This isn't just a rhetorical statement. The differences are observable in brain scan images and brain activity. Neurological studies have shown that narcissists, borderlines, and sociopaths have significant differences in brain regions responsible for empathy, self-regulation, and emotional control. For example, the prefrontal cortex, which governs decision-making and impulse control, often shows reduced activity, while the amygdala, tied to fear and aggression, may be hyperactive. This isn't just a convenient excuse. It is a neurological reality that shows up on brain scans. Look it up. Now, just want to be clear about this. These brain differences do not absolve these individuals of responsibility for their abusive, dishonest, and often criminal behavior. They may have faulty brain wiring, but they still know how to manipulate others and can control their behavior when it serves them. This is why accountability and consequences matter. Without meaningful consequences, there is no incentive for them to manage the worst of their pathology and abuses. Remember, if they can hide their malevolence during the love bombing stage, the mid to high functioning ones can control themselves when they choose, and that is when it is in their best interests to do so. These folks manage to behave when, for example, they're seeking new narcissistic supply. That's during seduction or love bombing or a Hoover. They want to avoid a consequence like jail, divorce, court fines, or losing custody. Or they're engaging in public image management. In other words, wanting to appear good rather than actually being good. Do not succumb to wishful thinking. These moments of decency aren't random. They're calculated. Narcissists in particular are masters of impression management, shifting gears to present a version of themselves that best serves their current goal. And that could change week by week, day by day, or minute to minute. So don't fall for it. These rare glimpses of normal behavior are part of the manipulation. And it is a dangerous trap to assume otherwise. Narcissists will never be normal. I urge you not to mistake their fleeting moments of normalcy for actual change. You will be horribly disappointed. So, what's happening during these seeming lulls of normalcy? And that's LULLS, not LOLZ. Most likely, the narcissist, borderline, or histrionic is reloading their super crazy soaker. Like the rest of us, even personality disordered individuals need time to recharge, regroup, and sleep. Even the craziest ones. Now, granted, many high conflict individuals seem to possess superhuman powers with endless energy for anger, aggression, and drama. Their rage fuels adrenaline, releasing neurochemicals that give them a high, or a buzz that drives their malicious mischief. But despite their seeming ability to stay in constant battle mode, like I said, they also need time to regroup, catch their breath, and recharge. These lulls, not so coincidentally, often align with the de-escalation and reconciliation stages of the abuse cycle. After the calm comes the tension building phase, inevitably followed by the next round of abuse. What feels like a period of normalcy is actually just a reset in their cycle of manipulation and abuse. It is also a key element in the trauma bond. In other words, what keeps victims hooked. I think of it as the glue in the glue trap of abusive relationships, the trauma bond. Now, this is usually where the classic, or let me backtrack. When I'm working with clients who are contemplating getting out of a relationship with one of these toxic personalities, part of the denial of that, which is fueled by the trauma bond, will be this, but she can be so nice sometimes. What I'm hearing when a client says that is that they are holding on to what is, pinning their hopes on what is actually just the intermittent positive reinforcement stage of the trauma bond and abuse cycle. Now, trauma bonds are created based on, again, intermittent positive reinforcement that works on a variable ratio reinforcement schedule. And variable ratio reinforcement schedules are the same operant conditioning model that makes gambling and lotto tickets so addictive. If you keep scratching or keep pushing the buttons on the slot machine, eventually you'll hit a payoff. Now, it's not the same interval of having to scratch tickets or push the button on the machine that gets you the payoff. So we know this from studying this behavior. A person will persist longer in trying to get the payoff, even if they keep losing and losing and losing more money. So, like I said, it is the same operant conditioning model, which, by the way, is also one of the most powerful learning models that exist that can keep a person stuck in these relationships. But even when you hit that jackpot periodically, which could be you just have a normal night where no one's screaming at you, eventually that abuse cycle starts all over again. Now, these infrequent acts of kindness or decency can create false hope and disarm you. And that's why they're so destructive. It might seem nice when you've only been through the abuse cycle a dozen or so times, but what clients feel hopeful about, again, what seems like kindness or decency from time to time creates false hope and can also lead you to let your guard down around these individuals. Now, when a narcissist or borderline temporarily turns off the crazy maker and behaves like a normal human being, it can sow confusion. You might start second guessing your experiences, thinking, maybe she's changed, maybe he's changed. This confusion, otherwise known as cognitive dissonance, compounds the narcissist or borderline's emotional manipulation and can keep you stuck in these relationships longer than is healthy or wise. As for those nice lulls, they're not really all that nice. Again, they are just moments in which there's an absence of abuse. And that's something I've mentioned this in other videos, and I see this all the time in the work I do. When clients are still in that denial and bargaining stage, oh, but when everything's good, it's just so good. It's better than any other relationship I've been in. So I ask questions like, all right, well, what makes it so good? Explain. Help me understand. Somebody's queen of the pillows back there. Pillow Mountain, otherwise known as my couch cushions. I fluff them just for her. Sorry for the sidetrack. Okay. So when I ask clients, tell me what makes these good times so good. Inevitably, what they explain is just times where there's a lack of overt aggression or silent hostility, which, if they were with healthier partners, could be their baseline, what they experience the majority of the time, not these little infrequent, increasingly rare moments. Okay, where was I? Just ad-lib there for a little bit. Here we go. Narcissists, borderlines, and histrionics won't ever be normal. No matter how normal they may seem at times, I repeat, narcissists will never be normal. Histrionics, borderlines, psychopaths, and sociopaths won't be either. I cannot stress this enough. These personality types are not driven by the same hopes, fears, and desires as normies and codependents. They don't care about harmonious cooperative relationships. What they want is power, control, zero accountability, and the biggest slice of the proverbial pie. Fairness, mutual respect, and equal partnership? Not even on their radar. They thrive on zero-sum games, dominating others through deception, manipulation, and abuse. This includes tactics like gaslighting, where they make you doubt your reality, or triangulation, where they pit people against each other to maintain control. And yes, playing the victim or using outright intimidation and bullying is part of their repertoire. And by the way, false victim narratives and allegations are highly emotionally manipulative and abusive to those falsely accused. What really energizes these individuals is drama, power struggles, and petty gamesmanship. Their normal is objectively abnormal by healthy human standards. These behaviors, coupled with their disordered thinking, is precisely what qualifies them for the DSM diagnostic criteria. For victims interacting with these individuals can lead to confusion, anxiety, and even long-term psychological trauma. The constant ups and downs of their behavior can create a state of emotional whiplash, making it difficult for you to trust your own perceptions. Ultimately, these people are not just out for personal gain. They disrupt relationships and social dynamics, bringing the chaos wherever they go. Do not confuse a narcissist's fleeting moments of normalcy with being normal. In these ephemeral moments of fake normalcy, what you're actually encountering is a mask of normalcy or a false self, as I've talked about before, designed to deceive and manipulate you. As mentioned earlier, you may find yourself in the let's pretend everything's okay stage of the abuse cycle. For instance, don't mistake offers of, for example, extra cold weather clothes for the kids, old Christmas ornaments that they don't want and can't fit in their garbage can, or summertime garden vegetables as signs of genuine attempts to cooperatively co-parent. I have one client who refers to the annual summer garden offering from his ex as the Trojan rhubarb. Beware of BPD exes bearing rhubarb. I guess that wasn't in the old Greek mythology, but nevertheless relevant. Okay, so when dealing with a narcissist, borderline, or histrionic parent and ex who seems to be behaving normally, keep in mind that they are likely, one, in between relationships, meaning they may feel less emboldened to show their usual rotten selves when they're not in a relationship because, hey, they might want attention or something else from you. Two, dissatisfied with their enablers. If the NPD or BPD is in between relationships or is upset with their usual enablers, again, they might want something from you, like trading days, extra time for trips, or agreeing to change the kid's school or pediatrician. Three, facing a self-inflicted crisis. For example, they might be out of a job again, or dealing with some other personal disaster that they created, and are gearing up to ask you for money or other favors. Four, plotting their next plot. They could already have their next Wile E. Coyote scheme in the works, feeling giddy duper's delight as they prepare to execute another Lucy Van Pelt. That is, yanking the football away and laughing as you fall on your back again like Charlie Brown. 5, burnt out from their own drama. After weeks of raging, controlling, and manipulating, they need a moment to regroup, hoping you won't regain your stability during their vulnerable phase. Remember, while you may not take advantage, they project their own tendencies onto you. 6, image management. They could be putting on a facade to appear more appealing to others or to gain sympathy. They publicly display normal behavior while acting out in private. 7, seeking validation. They're fishing for compliments or narcissistic supply, trying to bolster their self-worth. And finally, 8, could just be they're testing boundaries. For example, if they behave more normally, can they still manipulate or control you? Gauging your reactions to their normal behavior and then adjusting their tactics accordingly. It is crucial to recognize these moments of apparent normalcy for what they truly are. Nothing but temporary interludes in their never-ending cycles of manipulation. These episodes can easily lead you again to second-guess your perceptions, and that fosters a dangerous hope that she or he might genuinely change. But as I think I've established, narcissists, borderlines, and histrionics will never be normal. Okay, let's wrap this up. If you're still married, don't be fooled by non-apology apologies and empty promises that things will get better. These are likely dishonest attempts to escape the consequences of their toxic behavior, otherwise known as a Hoover. Trust nothing. Do not indulge in wishful thinking that the crazy eye of the crazy hurricane will last. It won't. Do take advantage of these normalcy lulls or crazy downtimes to accomplish positive things for yourself and the kids. Use this time to become healthier, stronger, and to pursue your own interests. Remember, when dealing with narcissists, borderlines, and histrionics, fleeting moments of normalcy are just that, fleeting. Never forget, narcissists will never be normal. Stay vigilant, keep your guard up, and be careful out there. Lastly, consider seeking support from a therapist who understands the unique challenges you face, especially one like myself who specializes in helping male abuse victims. You are most definitely not alone. Recognizing your own worth and striving for a stable environment is so important, and not just for you, but also for your children. You deserve a healthy, peaceful life, free from the kind of relentless manipulation I've just talked about. All righty, that does it. Oh, look at the sun. Okay, well, for those of you who are going to complain about the backlighting, the sun's going down. Sorry about that. I'm not doing this over. So again, I am Dr. Tara Palmatier of shrinkformen.com. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. If you would like to schedule a session with me, you can reach me at shrinkformen@gmail.com or shrinkformen@protonmail.com. Those addresses are in the About section of this video, along with the link to the original article from which this video is adapted. You can also find links to all of my social media accounts. This week looks like it's going to be a pretty busy one, so I will hopefully have another video posted. Let's just, for now, say next Sunday. Take care and have a good rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.